cool. I didn't know they were going to do that. Well, this is like high-end, classy stuff here, this spooky place.
This is your first time at Spooky Empire. How are you liking it?
It is. I'm liking it a lot. I was just telling my booking agent back there that, you know, the horror conventions are so much better than the pop culture conventions. Pop culture is just a little bit more cleaner, anime, no, not so much blood, guts, you know, parties are weaker. Yeah. That party was not weak last night.
So you're having a good time?
I'm having a great time, yeah, a great time. Thank you.
So we're going to start at the beginning, take a little time to talk about your career, starting with Henry. Woo! This is the crowd.
Well, you know what, Henry is, I don't know if it has a crowd anymore. It's like a multi-generational thing. I was in Chicago a number of years back, and there was Grandpa, and the son, and his wife, and the kids, and one of the kids had a kid. It was a little scary, but it was cool.
It's sort of a family.
And they were all Henry fans. They were all Henry. They loved him, yes.
But that was the first film that you shot, and it took a few years for that to get released.
Yeah, about 4 or 5, I think.
So in the meanwhile, you had done, I think your first big one after that was Mississippi Burning.
Yeah, okay. Was it?
I think that was your first big role.
So Mississippi Burning or Sea of Love?
Yeah.
Well, Mississippi Burning, Sea of Love, 8 and Out came around the same time.
Okay.
They were sort of back to back after Henry had popped out. No, we had done Henry, and then I kept going back and forth to LA and New York, because I was based in Chicago, and I was auditioning in different places. 8 and Out actually came first, because 8 and Out is the one that ended up getting me my agents.
And that was shot in your neighborhood, right?
No, not 8 and Out, Henry was.
Henry, okay.
Yeah, Henry was shot in my old neighborhood. And we shot it without press hoopla or any sort of passes or anything like that. We just would go out, start rolling and shoot, and if a cop rolled around the corner, we'd cut and get out of their way and let him pass, hide out a little bit, and then go back out and stop traffic and shoot again. You know, that kind of stuff. And, you know, it was okay, we did it. And many times when you're in neighborhoods like that, you gotta, lessons learned. You have to be very respectful to the local people in that neighborhood, because if you're not, you could end up not feeling good the next day. Or if you feel at all the next day. Point. My producer yelled at some people, some girls, little girls giggling and screaming and stuff. And that evening, there were about 15 guys that cornered us in this alleyway, and who was looking for that producer. The guy with the big mouth, they wanted to shut him up, and they were going to. And I basically said, can you kill him after we finish this shot?
He's writing the checks.
And then all of a sudden I hear from the guy, some guy, he goes, Animal, that you? And I go, I was called Animal in high school. And I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, that's another story though. But I go, yeah, it's me. Well, who's this? He says, you know, it's Ricardo, man, I'm from high school. And he was the head guy of this group. And I said, he says, where's that cat? And then he was like very, very disrespectful and blah, 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 blah. I said, well, you know, he's the producer, man. He's a bean counter. He's the guy that got us $10 to do this movie. And he goes, he goes, well, man, you know, what should we do with him? I said, kill him after we finish the movie. You know? He said, oh, okay, we'll do that. Okay. In the meantime, could you have these people be quiet out there while we shoot? And they go, no problem, my friend. So we're not, and these guys were our guys for the rest of the shoot of the movie. They took care of everything and made sure people would hold off and the cat calls and the foul language until we finish shooting the movie.
Yeah.
Because you were a people person.
Yeah, that's right. That's because we were the wrestling team and the football team in high school. Yeah.
So you went from that, you played, I can't remember the character's name in Mississippi Burning, but a lot of really nice guys.
I think it's Frank. Mississippi Burning, Frank Bailey, maybe.
Yes, yeah, you got it.
Yeah, Frank Bailey. He was based on a real guy. It was all make-believe stuff. But some of the main incident what really took place. And that was kind of a very kind of a groundbreaking. Alan Parker directed it. It was really a pretty interesting movie.
So you've done a few movies that are based on real folks, like Henry, Mississippi Burning.
Mississippi Burning is the first time I realized I knew how to hang someone.
Oh, that's enough skill to have.
I never knew this. And the other actors were having a problem getting the guy up in the tree. And I was waiting, I'm supposed to tie off the rope. And I'm waiting and I know I'm hungry and, we haven't eaten yet. And I'm getting like really a little bit frustrated. And so I'm up on this little knoll, and they're down there trying to, they can't get the guy up because he weighs too much. We got 3 guys down there trying to lift, get him up there. And I said, here, get out of the way. And I jumped from the knoll onto the rope, and the guy went zing, and he's like kicking and spinning, and I'm tying him off. I tie him off, and I go, yeah, that's the way you do it. And the guy's like this, and he realizes that he's not really hanging, because he's on a harness, and then he starts playing it, and it turned out to be a really, really awesome hanging.
Is that the take?
Yeah, that's the take. Yeah. We did it one time. One time, boom, let's go home. That's it. One take. Yeah, there's actors out there, do it the right way the first time, you get to go home. Oh, I don't want to lay on the ground. Oh, the dust is too dusty. Oh, no. Is this guy really going to twist my, it'll take all night. Just do it and be done with it. And then you get to go and have a beer or something.
Woo! Yeah.
Do you research stuff like when they're based on real folks like Henry, Mississippi Burning, and Tombstone, even Sherman, McMaster's, yeah.
I do, and other people do it for me. And then they come with correlated, biographies and all this stuff, and so I read some of it, but a lot of it, I don't really, I don't care too much about it that much. If there's something that I really that's in the movie that I really have to do, then I'll pay attention to that kind of stuff. But otherwise, I like to use my imagination and just, just do it that way.
Just go off what's on the page.
I go what's on the page. I don't, worry about, trying to bring out, except in Guardians of the Galaxy, I'll jump ahead. I read the comics, and then I reread the comics when I got cast, and then I got in, of course, and I know all this stuff about Yondu and all this kind of stuff about his arrow and his home planet and the metals from his planet and all this extra mental power
the mystic stuff.
The mystic stuff. I knew all about this, and then Gunn says, forget that. It's going to be a little different.
So, that leads me to, we're jumping ahead.
But I didn't forget about it. I kept adding it in.
Okay.
I added it in without him knowing it, and but he ended up liking it. So.
That leads me to something that I wanted to get to eventually, but you know that he loses a hand.
He does lose a hand. Yondu, the original Yondu, so the 1969 comic book version, eventually he loses his hand, and it is his right hand. And if I'm not wrong, he can manipulate so that the hand becomes whatever he needs to be.
Whatever
weapon he wants at that particular moment that he's in. So his hand can become a knife hand, so like, or a hook, or just different spears.
At first, it was because they wanted to keep him from using his bow and arrow, which wouldn't stop your Yondu.
No, of course not.
But then it just turned into whatever weapon that he wanted.
Whatever weapon he wanted, he could do. You know, it's pretty cool.
So now going back, there was a little concern that you weren't going to be able to do Yondu because you were doing another show that everyone here loves.
You mean the Walking Dead? You know, Merle Dixon was by far one of the most amazing roles that I've had an opportunity to play, and over a length of time. And so we were able to bring out little nuances and make you guys hate this guy. And then the next episode, all of a sudden, you realize that, well, I don't know, he was kind of right, wasn't he? Or well, no, you know, maybe he's not really a racist, sexist pig. Maybe he's just doing that to screw these dickheads. You know? I mean, you know, because he's handcuffed, by the way, you know, he can't get out, so his only weapon is his tongue and his quick wit. Shh. I can't.
You said it.
I saw him as a quick-witted individual. Maybe his quickness is not as quick as a normal human being,
but you laid the groundwork. You laid the groundwork in 2 episodes that paid off 3 seasons later.
Oh yes.
You made this guy awesome and hateful, and to the fact that everybody was dying to know when we'd see Merle again.
That's you know, that's quite true, but I can't blame it all on me. I blame Frank Darabont, and the creator of The Walking Dead, who was after a brief moment on the show was booted off, and for various reasons. I don't know all the stuff behind why the firing and the reason he was let go and stuff, and kind of out of the blue. It was a surprise to everyone. It was a big surprise to him as well, I'm assuming. But he wrote the entire 4.5-minute monologue on the rooftop prior to my cutting my hand off. And that wasn't even in the script. I was only there for 3 episodes, and he saw the work that was going on and decided, oh no, this cat is too bizarre and crazy and out there to not be on The Walking Dead. So he wrote that monologue in a way that it was almost impossible not to bring Merle Dixon back. And if anything could have happened that would have made all the bean counters happy, Merle Dixon would have never come back. But because of the fans, because of you guys, Merle Dixon came back. Clearly left it open, but if it wasn't for the fans coming at him all constantly, daily, there was a whole campaign about where's Merle, bring Merle back, we want Merle, all this kind of stuff on the internet. The internet exploded with that kind of stuff. And they kept showing the monologue and all this. And so if it wasn't for the fans, dude, I'm telling you, I really am a little iffy if we'd ever seen Merle Dixon again. So. And
when did you hear officially that he was coming, or they had firm plans to bring you back in?
Toward the end of season 2. Yeah. Unfortunately, because of that, you know, people in the business are very interesting folks. You know, the casting people, the producers, the studios. You know, they all know. But they don't really know a lot of stuff. They just assumed I was still on the show. And, you know, they assumed I was a regular on the show or something like that, because God knows I couldn't get a gig to save my life. You know, it was like nobody. They all assumed that I was on the show and that I was coming back, like you assume.
Yeah.
But you know, I wasn't getting paid. No, dude. It was like, no. It was 3 episodes. I got paid 3 episodes. That's it. And of course, I was told to keep quiet, deathly quiet. It's top secret. Don't say anything about cutting the hand off or any of that stuff. And then when I found out I was coming back, I was not to say anything at all, ever. I couldn't say anything. And so there I am. I do a little episode in season 2, but even after that, people still assumed I was coming back, and yet I was coming back. Now I knew I was coming back, but I still wasn't getting paid before I came back. I wasn't getting any kind of holding fee or hold fee or anything like that. So I was like,
so sock it to them.
what do I do now? I mean, how do I make a living, right? So, anyway.
And then there was some overlap. You had the show, and you don't know when it's the end until you get that script, or they bring you into
well,
that
I didn't know
room.
it was going to be. I knew about 3 weeks prior.
Yeah.
Other people knew the day of.
Wow.
Yeah. What does that say? I don't know. It's kind of
That they don't trust them.
Yeah, they don't. Something like something. I don't know. But I had a very nice exodus. You know, I mean, they told me, and then I had another week. It ended up being 3 weeks because they had to flip one of the weeks in because one of the actors that they wanted to bring back was not available, so it became 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks. And so me and the writers really correlated and talked. And
So you did have a conversation about
lots of
redemption kind of stuff?
I didn't even talk about redemption. I didn't care about redemption. I don't care. I didn't care if they felt that I didn't care if the audience liked or disliked Merle. I didn't care if the other actors liked or disliked Merle. The only person that Merle cared about, was my main through line, was my brother. And the only reason that I would let Michonne go was because she's a better fighter. She's a really a great fighter, and it would be advantageous for her to be on my brother's team during the big battle, right? And so my job really was to go and take out as many of the governor's men as possible, and the governor, preferably. But if editing was not so amazingly, just a blatantly bad shot, I would have taken out the governor as well. It's like, how do I not miss the governor at this distance, right?
That's what we said.
Yeah, my walks in front of the bullet. Yeah, right, okay.
Well, we got this some slack because you had one hand, so.
Anyway, so we sort of figured out that if in fact the zombie attacks me during the actual pulling of the trigger, the bullet, of course, would go awry. It would miss. And so we figured it out on set. We were like, okay, how about this happens? And so we shot it that way, yet the editors edited it the other way. And it was like, sometimes as an actor on one of these shows, you're like, you shake your head and you go like, what are they thinking? You know, they're not even on the same page. You know, the things happen. You change lines on the moment. Oh God, this line's not working, let's change this. Oh, then that changes the whole motivation sometimes. Well, okay, if we do this line, then, you know, that's not gonna work, but let's just drop that aside and go with this scenario. But it does not get back, and that does not translate into the editing room, where they already have and are already editing the original script that we got 8 days ago, okay, which has changed completely, okay, from when we first got the script. So a lot of times I'm not, you know, being really negative toward them because they don't know. They still have the original script. So they're going by the original script, and we've already passed the original script and gone beyond the original script, and doing something completely opposite or different, but they don't usually get it. In time. They don't get it in time. Because this show shoots in like 10 days, and everything is timed out so amazingly quickly, and it's amazing what we can do. I still say we, because I still feel a part of the Walking Dead family, and I know everybody. Everybody's beautiful. I love all the people on that show, and I always will, hence I still say we. So, you know.
So then there was overlap with you talking to James Gunn, because he's your best buddy, talking about if you're on the show, you don't know when,
Well,
how long.
I'll tell you how it went down. Gunn said he wanted to write me a role in Guardians of the Galaxy. I said, great. No, I don't need that role.
Not the Marvel movie.
Marvel Disney movie. I don't think I need that. But anyway, he said he wanted to write me a role. I said, absolutely. Thank you very much, sir. So time passed. He's writing the script, and we realized they had issues with some of the materials. So they wanted to add another character, and so all of a sudden he thought, well, this is the character I want to add. This would be great for Rooker. So he started writing, and he wrote this role for me, and he told me so, and I was like, absolutely. And we're both over there going like, yes, great. And then of course they decided to shoot it right exactly when The Walking Dead was shooting. We were in our imaginations, we were imagining, the film will be shot right during the hiatus, and no problems whatsoever. But no, it did not shoot during the hiatus period. It shot exactly when we were shooting The Walking Dead. And so we realized that, and we both looked at each other and realized, oh no, we're not going to be able to work together on the show. And I was like really saddened, and it was felt I had this empty spot in my belly, and he did too, I'm sure. And a week or so, a couple of weeks later, he asked me if I would play this smaller role, and I said, of course I can get off. They'll probably rewrite. They'll let me off for a day or two or whatever. And he said, great. And so that was it. I was not going to do Yondu or the bigger role. I didn't even know it was called Yondu at the time. So I just realized that I'm not going to be able to do the bigger role, and I'm going to do another role, so cool. I did it, and I was going to do it, and then I get this phone call that I was going to be killed off, and my first honest thought was, and I'm not joking or trying to, my first thought was, oh wow, I never have to wear that knife hand again. Ever! Oh! I was like, right away my arm felt better. Right away, I was like, oh my God, I can feel my fingers again. Yes! And so that was my very first thought. And then my second thought was, oh no, I can't do God's movie. That's when that actually occurred. And I gave him the call. And, I can do his movie, right? Not I can't, I can do God's movie. So I gave him a call, and I said to him, this is the conversation. I'm at the airport going back to LA, and I said, hey Gunn, what's up, man? And he says, all is good, I'm working hard, blah, 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 blah. And I go, well, listen, man, I've been wanting to talk to you. He said, what's up? And I go, look, I know the saying, there are no small actors, no small roles, only small actors. but that role is too little for me, man. I can't do that role, dude. I'm a big movie star now. You know, I'm like on the biggest TV show in the world. I'm a movie star. People stopping me on the street, dude. They love me. And they hate me too. But they love me mostly. You know? And they want to slap me and scratch me and beat me up, but they want to kiss me afterwards. And so I can't do it. And he goes, and I wait, and there's a silence, and he says, dude, listen, there'll be another time, don't you worry, everything is cool. I understand, not a problem at all. And I said, okay, good. Because you know, I'm messing with you, right? I just got killed on the show, and I can do the role, and I'm free. I'm free as of now. I'm dead, dude. They killed me 2 times in 1 episode. I'm dead in the world. These cats do not want me ever to reappear in the show. I am dead. I'm surprised they didn't kill me 3 times. So he's like jumping up and down. I can hear him jump up and down. Then I hear this silence. He goes, oh, damn. I go, what? You cast it already? He says, no, it's not cast. I just got to convince Marvel now. So he went back, and I don't know if it was a hard sell or not, but I ended up getting the job.
This is the last bit about that, and we'll get to the questions here, but James, you guys are tight. You are like brothers, you and James Gunn.
Oh, yeah.
And I read somewhere that the weekend that it premiered, that Guardians of the Galaxy premiered, he sat down and he wrote the first draft of Guardians 2. Have you heard any of that? You know the guy, I only read it.
What'd you read?
I only read that he wrote the first draft, or at least the outline. It's probably just a lot of spaceships, monsters. How are the ducks say today? But I'm gonna have nightmares from But does he tell you stuff like, I got an idea?
He can't tell me anything. He's on his own doing all the stuff. I'm as surprised as anybody else when they hear it. So, and I'm like pleasantly surprised usually. And yeah. So I don't know. I don't want to know. I prefer to be surprised. I like sometimes when I go to restaurants, I just tell the person, just order me whatever you think is really nice. And what do you think I should eat now? Look at me.
What minerals am I lacking? What vitamins do I need?
There are people that can look at you and they can fix the meal that's most appropriate for you. And so I'm thinking the guys at Coco's and the guys at Denny's can do the same shit.
How's that work out for you?
I mean, take a look, take a breath, breathe first, close your eyes, open your eyes. Look at me.
You look well fed.
Scrambled eggs are fried.
And now questions. There's
questions.
Line up. Come on in. Ask your question. If you have another question, line back.
One person has a question. I love you guys.
So they're all lined up right there on the wall.
Oh, they are. Okay. Come on. Come on down, y'all. Don't be shy. Oh, it's the gift girl. How are you, baby? I thought it'd be better by now.
No, it's not. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
In the scene...
You gotta stop kicking your husband. those guys are hard, you know, it's like shin bone, that doesn't work.
It would have been worth it then. If in the scene with you and Daryl, when you were a zombie and you were leaning over the person eating them.
Yeah, that was delicious.
What were you chewing on? Because that was disgusting.
What?
It looked so real, like you were actually chewing on flesh. What was it?
Are you a vegan or a vegetarian?
No, I'm a meat eater, but not a, human meat eater.
I don't know, it was sweet.
Was it like gummy bears?
It was delicious human meat?
It was not.
sausages and stuff like that.
Cooked?
He just asked them to bring him whatever he wanted. What do you think that I would eat?
What do you think? Isn't it great? They cook
You did
it.
amazing in that scene, by the way.
Thank you. It's because the food was awesome. I was having a meal, I'm eating and I'm picking at it, and the actor laying there, he has to hold his breath and be quiet and everything, and he starts giggling. And I'm over here eating, I said, stop giggling, stop giggling. And you're like, don't pick it, it's tickling me. And I'm reaching underneath and getting stuff, and I'm reaching under and getting his ribs, and I'm tickling him, and he's ready to tickle to the eye. Stop laughing or I'm really going to kill you.
Thank you.
Hey, hi. Speak up. Be brave.
In Guardians of the Galaxy, how did you get along with the people in the cast?
That's very sweet. Mom, did you put those words in your mouth?
No, she asked me if she could ask the question.
You rephrase a question like this. In Guardians of the Galaxy, how did everyone get along with you? Everyone got along with me very well. People find that I'm very sweet, kind, giving individual.
Or else.
We got along very well, sweetheart. We had such a fun time. And you saw the Guardians of the Galaxy, right? And all the aliens and those really weird, kind of interesting type outfits. Amazing. Very scary aliens. Did you find they were scary? No? I get scared very easily. So I thought they were all kind of scary with all the teeth and the horns and the eyes and all that stuff. And we had the most amazing cast from every single extra all the way up to the lead people that were individually chosen by Mr. Gunn himself. And we got the humans that we got. Some had extra long necks. Some had short, stubby necks. Some had long, long arms, short little arms. We got people of all shapes and sizes to play all the aliens. And they suited the makeup and all that stuff to the individual. So a guy would come in. Actually, when I came in for my fitting, they looked at my numbers and my measurements, and they just go, this is what they said. They said, Rooker, you are the most amazingly average human being I've seen in the last 6 months. Because we're looking like at guys with 14-inch necks that are, double my length. Just stuff. It's just odd little. And Dave Bautista, I mean, his biceps are bigger than my thighs, and I mean more. I got little legs. I mean, his arms are massive, and his neck is like, my waist size almost, I wish. Suck it in. Yeah, thank you. That was a beautiful question. Thank you. Next question.
In Slither, how was it performing as Grant as the makeup progressed?
What about it?
How was it performing as that? You didn't.
The makeup in Slither, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's a great movie. The monster, there's stages. So, as the stages progress, less and less of the human Grant is there. Until the only core human feeling or thing that's inside this monster at the end is what brings him down. It's his love for his wife, Starla. Somewhere in this mass of alien creature, in some spot in his brain, he sees Starla, and that love that he felt for her when they first saw each other in high school was still there. And he opened up to her, and hence she stabs him in the eye!
And then blows him up.
The poor alien. I mean, the alien Grant was just, it was beautiful. So we had just various levels of humanity that was disappearing as we go. And it was a beautifully written piece, and we had no context. So even when I'm the most alien development in that, even when I'm like the house monster, those are still my eyes. So you still see you still see what you need to see, so that you can understand that the house monster is being brought down by love, So he sees Starlight and he still loves his wife, even as the monster. Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
I am Groot.
Yeah.
My question is, what actors have been inspiration for you and have influenced your own acting, performances, and style and personality and otherwise?
None.
Thank you for your question. We're going to try to get through
Next question.
The next 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes.
Okay, come on.
I remember you were in a episode of Mythbusters with.
That's right, I was.
You were going with Jamie and Adam, and you were testing on what was better, a sword or a gun.
That's right.
Did you actually do one of the tests, and if you did, were you better than Jamie and Adam?
No one's better than Jamie and Adam. Those guys are the best, and I did not. My demonstrations were individual demonstrations when, I kicked the zombie board, and by the way, that was by accident. I didn't know I was going to kick the zombie board. I just saw the zombie board and I felt like kicking it. That happened to an actor sometimes. I don't know, I just felt like throwing the other actor through the window. But we didn't rehearse that!
That was real glass.
I just felt like it! But
Let me just say, you were awesome on that last episode of Walking Dead that you were on. It was just so sad watching you die.
Thank you very much. That was very, very kind of you to say. I didn't think of the sadness while I was playing and getting ready for it. But after the fact, when I got back to the hotel, I realized, I'm not going to be in this show ever again, And it was a bit moving, but me and Norman and a lot of the other cast see each other often because they come to the different Comic-Cons and the different things like this, and we see each other all the time. And so we're still friends and still get to say, hey, what's up, man? Let's go for a drink. You want a Coca-Cola? I would have a 7-Up, please. A double 7-Up.
All right, the last question from the Kid and the Carter Show.
I wanted to ask.
Hey, hold on, not that. All you people on the wall, come over here. Stand right by the mic. Quickly. Right behind this young man. Now, stay right there. When he asks this question, we're going to answer the question normally, but then everybody's going to get a chance to ask one question. Only your questions. Don't introduce yourself. Don't preface it with anything else. just your question, and I'm going to answer your question. I'm going to do it in rapid fire.
What's your question?
Okay, what's your question, buddy?
Would you want to survive longer on Walking Dead than you did?
Yeah.
Thank you. Next question.
Thank you. Okay, here we go. We're going to do 10, okay? You ready?
So I gotta know.
Fast. No, I got to know.
Just ask.
Fast.
Why they call you animal? And I just
Because I like hurting things. Well, mainly not things, inanimate objects. You know, I like breaking stuff, and so, you know, sometimes I do that.
All right, Guardians and Galaxy, would you get to meet Stan Lee?
Yes.
awesome.
Many times. Yes.
Are you as angry as I am about Dancing with the Stars? Because you were awesome and should have made it to the final.
Faster, louder.
What would you like to see or do as Yondu in the sequel?
I don't care. Next. What?
How was it being in the video game?
I love being in the video game. I do another one anytime, any day.
Whose idea was it to have Yondu whistle to summon his arrows?
That was in the comics back in 1969. By the way, that's my favorite number. Never mind.